Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. If you're ever contemplating, or maybe you have in the past, maybe making a change to your house or your business building, and a lot of times you have to hire a whole bunch of different people to get that done, from the design to the contractor and all of that. There's one person that does all of it. The designer, a contractor, and I am refreshed to find that she is also a woman, which you don't really find in all those roles. We're breaking that mold right now. Julie Laughton is with us. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hot because it's hot in California, but I'm good.
I just heard that they were messing around with the temperature being so hot that they put an egg on somebody's dashboard and cooked it just like that.
I think that's the truth. It's hotter than normal. That's for sure.
Which can be a challenge for somebody like you, because a lot of times you're out there in the field doing your work, right?
Yes, I'm in my truck, like as I am right at this moment, and I'm driving around, and the air conditioner's on, and then you get out to the hot job site, and oh my God, and I eat my lunch in the car, and and I talk in the car, so it's a constant, lots of sun.
Yeah. Well, you're in sunny California, right?
Yes, south of LA and Laguna Beach and Newport Beach area.
Gotcha. So let's go over what you do as a designer and a contractor. When we say designer, what aspect are we talking about?
I do all the architectural plans that you would need to submit to build a new house or remodel your house. And then I have 5 engineers I have on my team that provide the structural, the civil, the survey, the soils, and the Title 24, everything you need to submit plans. Most people don't realize that those guys are the ones that actually build the house on paper. The drawing's a pretty picture, but they're the ones that make it buildable. And then I do the interior design, which is the stuff screwed and glued to the walls. And then I do the space planning and the custom kitchen design, because I'm certified and licensed and all that. And then I'm a licensed general contractor. So after all that's done and the city approves the plans, I pull the permit and I run the job as the GC. It's actually me. There's no men under me showing up every day and running the crew. It is me, because I have to be there anyway, because I drew the plans.
Where were you when I needed you?
I know. There should be more of me and more people that work this way, because it would solve a lot of problems.
Yes, and yes. If you've ever been through the process of building a house, done that. Been through the process, not me personally, but been through the process of renovations, an addition, done that, even the backyard. Now, I know that, that's not what you specialize in.
I do it, though. I do the pools and the hardscape and the patio covers.
Yeah. Then there's that. Did that as well with another house. And just trying to coordinate everybody, it's a lot of work. And especially when it's coming from different people. You've got it all in-house there. Essentially, one-stop design, build, shop is what you do. And I love how you break it down to 7 simple steps to get the work done. Can we go over those?
Yeah, so what it is a lot of people don't realize when you buy a home or buy a new lot to build a home, that first step is to actually research the property before you buy it, because there might be a surprise for you of something you can't do, and because no one's going to tell you and your realtor's not going to tell you that. You're going to find out later from the city, state, federal government, or just the soils guy that says, oh my God, you're living on an earthquake, you're living on a landslide, or you're living on a toxic waste dump. I mean, who knows? It could be anything, but you do want to do some due diligence before you purchase your property for real, because maybe the city's just a nightmare and you don't realize it'll take 2 years to get anything done. So that's step 1. Step 2 is put your dreams on paper, and that involves all the plans and the engineers. And then step 3 is bid it. And that's the pre-construction. Step 3 is submit it to the city, which happens behind the scenes while you're working on the plan. So step 3 is submit to the city. That's a whole process that we do with plan runners. And then step 4 is bidding it, which is called the pre-construction. And that's when you bring your contractor in early, way early, so he can look at the plans and make sure they're actually accurate. Because, the architects leave stuff off and the engineers maybe don't have it just right. So you want the contractor's eyes on it before the day you're ready to build. So that's 4. And then 5 is, okay, pull the permit, plans are approved, and build your dream home. That's the funnest part, is building it. And then step 6 is go over your warranties and learn how to care for your home and learn how to take care of it and love it. And then step 7 is lifetime maintenance. You got to do your maintenance. You got to take care of your house.
Wow. Step 8, invite Steve and Julie to your house.
Yeah, there you go.
What would you say out of all the steps there is the most challenging for you?
Well, the most challenging is the it's just funny because I love the design process of taking it out of the client's head and putting it on paper, but that's the most work because then you're explaining to them how the process works. So it's the most challenging because every single person's different, learns different, listens different, is busy, is traveling. So to get them their head wrapped around what are we doing? What does it look like? And then what it costs in building it is easy, but that first part is challenging because you really got to get the client's head around it. So we do a lot of color pictures and 3D renderings and, really go crazy. That's when you find out who you're dealing with and, everything comes out.
And that is a challenge I could see. And by the way, I thought you were going to say the permits is a challenge sometimes.
That's nothing.
Maybe you haven't been to New York.
Yeah, well, the permits are a pain in the ass, and the city's a pain in the ass, but we know it, and we're used to it, and there's no getting around bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. I can't even say it. Bureaucracy.
Yes, I got you there, and yeah, I see how that's got to be tough for you doing your job when somebody's got it up here. You need to take that and translate it to what you do, but even understand it because sometimes people don't verbalize it clearly, and
Yes.
I'm sure that's part of a long process trying to get what they want done.
Well, so the thing is, nobody knows how to verbalize it. So I go through like flashcards with pictures, or I make them pull pictures, and it's a process until I can actually see that I've got it and I can see that they're understanding. You got to pay attention to the client. And I think my superpower is listening because you got to listen to what they're saying and I know when they're not understanding and they're all glossed over. I know when they're not getting it. So, it's years of practice, but it's a whole process to get them to a point where, yes, they understand it.
Let's talk about the years of practice. How did this begin for you, Julie? This whole journey of designing and building and everything else?
Well, I started drawing and painting when I was like 10, and then I did oil paintings, and I thought, okay. And then at 14, I was mechanical drafting, which is the mechanical engineering and actually drafting and drawing to scale. And then in college, I tested out of mechanical engineering and went for architecture. But then I got bored in architecture because of the math and the thought of building skyscrapers just didn't appeal to me. So I switched to landscape architecture for 2 years, and then I finished off with interior design for 3.5 years. So I have this huge background of all 3 degrees or studies. And my thing is, my passion is architecture and designing and building things and working with my engineers. So anyway, my first job was an architect's office, and they would send me to the field to measure the plans. And these are 100,000 square foot spaces and 40-story high rises where I was working. So I was always in the dirt, telling people these plans don't work. We got to change this because that measurement doesn't work. And because I would get to the nitty gritty of, So I was always standing in the dirt since day one. And then after commercial experience for 7 years, I moved to Los Angeles, and I couldn't find a job with the architects because I was older and overqualified, they told me. So I was forced to kind of reinvent myself, and I got a job selling custom kitchens that were actually custom made by a German guy from Germany that didn't speak English. And it propelled me into residential, and it propelled me into starting my own business. And I took all that knowledge and focused it on residential, starting with the kitchens. And before you know it, I had my own business, and now I'm up to 25 employees and 10 million in sales, and it's insane.
Wow. And I sort of relate to what you say because I wanted to be a syndicated cartoonist. So I was painting and doing all that stuff. And then I started drafting. I started learning about that. And I love the T-square and all the tools that went along with it. But then when I took the next step, just like you, it was like, oh, I don't really want to do this. This is kind of boring. I want to be creative. And I continued.
That's what happens.
And then I pivoted over to broadcasting. Been doing that since I was 17. But you want to be creative. That's got to be the fun part, to see it.
That's what makes me happy.
Yes, right. That's where I think you feel your passion come out, right? And it's this is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing it. When you feel it,
I have a natural born talent, I call it, but I did go to college for it and I have experience. But I have a gift for the arts and the eye and seeing things, and it really makes me happy that I can share that and help people because I get a reward by helping people accomplish their dreams because they can't do it by themselves. And when I watch them work with an architect, a decorator, an AV guy, a pool guy, contractor, and five engineers, and it was a shit show. I couldn't handle it. So I just became the contractor, and I got my engineers, and I said, "Screw this. That's not any way to work." Because I'm not waiting for anybody. I fight for the client, and I get stuff done.
As
So
you just
that's
said that, I was getting anxiety. Like seriously, it's triggering. Like going back to waiting for this one to show up, that one to show up, got to get an inspection, blah blah blah, and all of that.
exactly.
I love what you said before. It made me laugh. Screws and glue. The interior design. What's your favorite room to work with?
The kitchen.
Is it? Okay. Is the Center Island open concept still big right now?
Yes, period. Always, yes. And then take that whole wall to the outside and put a sliding door on it, and now you have your house double the size because you include your outdoor dining and your outdoor everything. So yes, it's still the biggest.
In terms of, and we just had this conversation recently, I had some friends over. I sold a house recently. I'm renting in a complex now. Just not a great time to buy a house here. I actually put an offer on one and just killed the deal. Just didn't seem right. But we're talking about kitchens. What's big for kitchens? I'm hearing lighter colors, lighter feel. What do you think?
It's funny they say lighter colors and lighter feel, but color's coming back. So the pop color, because of postmodern and the mid-century modern, is kind of driving a lot of color. But like the putty and red colors, kind of like the grays. So there's still a lot of the grays and the whites, but just the pure white's always popular. But I've seen a lot of nice neutral tones come in, which is nice. So organic.
Okay, all right. So even the cabinets, an off-white cabinet would.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
There's been some designers going crazy this week showing off their gray cabinets or their putty colored, cabinets. And then there's that dark blue that's out there too. But they're trying to say that color is trendy, but that's been around forever. But they're kind of gravitating towards this kind of almost taupey, muddy color. Yeah.
What about the black and white minimalistic look in design? That was kind of big a couple of years ago. Is it still hanging in there?
The minimalist modern is huge right now because all the young people want the modern with white and maybe a little organic color, but really minimalist is hot right now. Yes. Not the black so much, but black windows are still in, but black windows and white everything else. Yes.
Wow. What's your favorite? If you don't answer, don't answer. I want to rephrase the question. If you could bring back any trend, I don't care when, 10, 15 years, whatever, it doesn't matter. What would you bring back?
Well, I actually like ultra modern, super clean minimalism at heart because my favorite time period is 1930s Art Deco, which is actually super clean. So if you look at the movie sets back then, and the women's fashion of the 1928, 1930s, that real streamlined, curved edges. Love that.
My place is very minimalistic. It's, and I don't have a lot of clutter. And I had people over this past weekend, and somebody said to me, she goes, "Something's wrong. Your place is way too clean. Something's not right." I'm like, "I clean it once a week. I'm not." If you don't have a lot in it with a lot of junk all over the place, it's quick and easy to clean.
Well, of course it is, and that's how I think too. I just wipe it down, boom, on with it.
Yeah, we got other stuff to do. What do you want people to know when it comes to doing an addition, an extension, whatever it might be? What's your first thought?
The first thought is know what you want, do your homework on your finding out what's your style, what's your colors. Try to identify everything you can do by yourself first of what do I want this to be? What do I want it to function as? So do your homework on what you want and then work with professionals. Don't make sure you have a designer or an architect, either one, and then the contractor. Don't rely on your contractor for design. Don't let your decorator be your contractor, and don't let your architect be your designer. You got to work with the team. You need a team.
You are the team. You are it.
I know.
You are the team. If somebody's contemplating more space, which is more cost effective, building out the footprint, building out or building up?
It's funny because second stories still involve footings. So it's almost the same because you still have new footings and new pad footings. So going up is a little cheaper than going out because you don't have the slab. So it's cheaper to go up.
Okay. What about exterior? What's hot right now? What are you seeing? I love slate or some kind of stonework, not brickwork, but stonework in the front. In fact, the last house I had, which, like I said, I just sold, I moved in 2014, and the first thing I did was to put brick on the front, at least part of it, because it looked boring. I needed some texture, something.
You need stonework. So a lot of we call it silver quartz is real popular, that kind of random silvery gray kind of quartz stone. It's kind of like a flagstone to you on the East Coast, or bluestone. So that's very popular, and everything's white with black windows right now. It's and it's almost like a mild version of Cape Cod or traditional look right now. But we got the modern over the top stucco, but then the traditional ones there's more of those with the white and the siding. Yeah.
In terms of siding, any thoughts on that?
I like to do board and batten on my cute cottages, and then if I do siding, I like it to be a little wider. So, and it makes it easier.
Wider or wider?
Wider.
Okay, gotcha.
Not the farm. I don't like the farmhouse. It's too vintage. I like a little wider looking.
I love your attention to detail. I really do, Julie.
Oh, I have a problem with that. I am overly attention. I see everything. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, but that I think that's why you're so successful. You don't miss anything, and it's those little nuances that all add up to, if you're looking at the front, let's just go with the exterior. There's a lot that goes into a certain look, and I really believe that people take it for granted. They don't understand what's going into it.
They don't understand because you see houses in the Midwest or in other states where they don't have the details we have here at the beach. And to get this look, oh my God, it's the kind of siding, the copper trim, the metal trim at the windows, and all the light fixtures. It's like the difference between a Toyota and a Bentley. There's a huge difference in the attention to detail and what makes it look like wow, and a lot more money too. But it's worth it because they're a stronger design, they're a more bulletproof design, and they're timeless, and they actually last longer.
Can you get the wow look without breaking the bank? Can you? The only analogy I have is like a knockoff pocketbook.
Well, we are at the beach, so we got to use copper or stainless. But if you're not at the beach, you don't have to use copper or stainless. You can still do that same effect, and you can still use paint to accomplish it. So there's ways to get the same thing with different materials in different locations. So, and out here we use hardy siding, which is more expensive than wood siding because we have to. So for fireproof and all that stuff. So, different materials is the idea is different materials. And you could use in the Midwest, you can do vinyl siding, woohoo, and get the same look and don't have to paint it.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. And same thing here in the East. I'm sorry, you were going to say something.
No, and then you put on the copper colored gutters. They're not copper, they're just copper colored, and you get the same look.
Love it. Materials, you said that word, and right away I went to, in my mind, challenges because of COVID, supply chain, getting things delivered. I know it was an issue a year ago, 6 months ago. Are we in a way better spot now with materials?
Oh, it's over. The only thing long lead time is windows. They're longer than they should be. Manufacturing still on some things, and refrigerators for some reason.
Really? That's odd.
Yeah, that's it.
Interesting. When we talk about windows, can you not buy the top of the line and get a good result from them?
Sure, if you have the right glass. So if you have Title 24 glass, you can still use a vinyl window as long as it's installed properly with caulking and there's no leaking and it's weatherproof properly. Sure, you don't have to use a wood window or a clad window, but I recommend clad so you never have to paint it. But you can use vinyl, sure, as long as they have the right glass because you want your Title 24.
And I'm going to go back to the house I just sold. There were some windows where there was, I guess, a gas leak in between the panes. And once you get that, it's like,
well, you can't. You got to replace them.
Yeah, Yeah, and that actually happened in a sunroom that the previous family put on, and just one side you couldn't even see out because it was condensation in there, and I don't know if they cheaped out. I can't say. Probably.
It's terrible. Once they go, you got to replace them. I don't think they're.
I lost the last part of what you just said.
They're not repairable. You got to replace them. But like I use Milgard windows, and they replace them for free.
Wow. What's the name again?
Milgard, Milguard, and they're made in Temecula out here, which is a little town south of me. But there's a really good lifetime warranty on them.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've never heard the brand. I've heard Allside is a window brand. I think a siding brand.
East Coast, yep. And okay. You've heard of Anderson and Pella, but Milgard's local to us. That's why.
Gotcha. I didn't want to mention those names, and those are, when you get Anderson, do we have to spend that much? And apparently not. If you know.
don't. I've never used an Anderson or Pella product in my entire career.
Wow. Okay. If somebody wants to work with you, they're not in California or near you, can you do things virtually?
I can do a lot of consulting and plans, virtually and help them that way. Yes, I can't contract in other states, but I can design.
Sure. Yeah. And if we go to your website, can we see examples of a lot of stuff we're talking about?
Yes, everything's on there.
Yeah. Julie, great talking with you today. You're not the usual contractor and designer. You really aren't.
That's for sure. I'm the real deal, and I'm a true one-stop shop, and I like to have fun and get things done.
Well, but I also detect that you don't take CRAP from anybody. Yeah.
And now that I'm 61 years old, you just better get out of my way because we're doing this. And, once I have a plan and we get going. Yeah.
And by the way, the CRAP mentioned there, I wasn't talking about customers or anything like that. I was talking about municipalities. When, things come up against you, oh, wow, we need another permit, blah, 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 and all of that. It sounds like you're just, I'm barreling through.
Yeah, because we're used to it. And we know, and we take extra time to work with the inspectors and the building departments and really understand what they really need, and don't fight them, just help them. We help them. We come prepared, and we don't make it worse. We help them because sometimes they're overwhelmed too, so we help them.
Well, it also sounds like you have everything together, where there are some other companies out there that do what you do, that kind of wing it, and then they run into challenges when they're standing at the window trying to get a permit.
There are so many people that don't know how to behave at the counter and respect the people that are working there, because it's a serious business to talk to a building official. You don't want to screw around. You want to be nice to them, and their life's probably harder than ours. So the thing is, I get so much respect at the city because I go out of my way to make it a delightful experience. I don't bust their balls. They don't bust mine. We get it done together. And I'm helpful. I'm obedient.
Those are the people you want to be nice to. Believe me.
Yes. I want to make their life easier, not harder.
Julie, what's your website?
It's julielaughton.com. Pretty simple, huh?
And Julie Laughton, spelled, of course, Julie, Julie. Laughton is Laughton, correct?
Yes, I'm related to that famous actor Charles Laughton because my name is my great grandmother's maiden name.
Wow.
Isn't that fun? And we're related to him. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Listen, Julie, great talking with you. You don't even look close to 61, by the way.
No, I love it. Thanks.
I got to go to California. I got to find
it's the weather, and I drink a lot of water.
Yeah, you know what? People don't. And you're right. Thank you so much for today. Appreciate you being here, and look forward next time we get together.
Thanks, Steve. You're delightful, and we'll see you next week.
You too.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.